Evan Carter was a night shift technician at WKRN, a small radio station perched on a lonely hill outside Crestwood. The station was old, its equipment a patchwork of analog relics and jury-rigged repairs. But it served the town's insomniacs and truckers with music and talk shows through the witching hours. Evan liked the solitude, the hum of the transmitter, and the way the world felt quieter at 3 a.m. But tonight, something felt wrong. The station sat in a concrete bunker of a building, surrounded by a chain-link fence and a gravel lot. Beyond that, nothing but fields and the distant glow of Crestwood's lights. Evan was halfway through his shift, sipping burnt coffee, when the console flickered. The broadcaster pre-recorded jazz playlist, cut out for a split second, replaced by a low, guttural hum. He frowned, checking the signal monitor. Everything looked normal, but the hum lingered in his headset, faint, like a voice trying to form words. He adjusted the dials, assuming interference from a nearby cell tower. The hum stopped, and the jazz returned. Evan shrugged it off, jotting a note for the morning crew to check the wiring. But 10 minutes later, it happened again this time. The hum was clearer, almost a whisper, and it carried a single word: listen. Evan froze, his hand hovering over the console. The word wasn't part of the playlist. He yanked off his headset, heart thudding, and scanned the room. The studio was empty, the door locked, the windows dark. He checked the security feed on his laptop. Nothing but the empty lot and the fence swaying in the wind. "Get a grip," he muttered, putting the headset back on. The jazz was back, but now it sounded wrong, warped, like it was being played underwater. He called the station manager, but the line was dead. Not static dead, as if the phone wasn't connected to anything. He tried his cell phone, but the signal bars were gone. The station's Wi-Fi was down too. Evan's pulse quickened. WKRN was isolated, but it wasn't that isolated. He stepped outside, the cold air biting his skin, and checked the transmitter tower. Its red beacon blinked steadily, but the air around it felt heavy, charged, like before a storm. Back inside, the hum returned, louder now, and it wasn't just in the headset. It vibrated through the console, the walls, the floor. The lights flickered, and the monitors displayed static, not the usual signal readouts. Words began to form in the hum, slow and deliberate. "We see. You." Evan's mouth went dry. He grabbed the emergency manual, flipping to the section on signal intrusions, but nothing in the faded pages explained this. He tried to shut down the broadcast, but the controls wouldn't respond. The hum grew into a chorus of voices, overlapping, unintelligible, yet filled with intent. The static on the monitors coalesced into shapes vague, human-like forms that pulsed and shifted. Evan backed away, knocking over his coffee mug. The liquid spread across the floor, but it didn't pool, it moved, forming jagged lines. Like a circuit board etched in brown, the voices sharpened. "You hear us now." The room grew colder, the air thick with a metallic temps. Evan's breath came in short gasps, fogging in front of him. He ran to the door, but the handle wouldn't budge, as if welded shut. The windows rattled, though the wind outside had stopped. The shapes on the monitors grew clear, elongated figures with too many limbs, their edges fraying like bad video feed. Evan grabbed a screwdriver from the toolbox and pried at the door, but the metal groaned and held fast. The voices were screaming now, not through the headset, but inside his skull. A cacophony of rage and hunger. "Join us." The lights went out, plunging the studio into darkness except for the monitors, which glowed brighter, the figures now stepping out of the screens. Their forms glitching and stuttering as they moved toward him. He stumbled back, tripping over a cable, and fell against the console. The figures didn't walk, they flickered, appearing closer with each blink of his eyes. Their faces, if they had any, were smears of static, but their intent was clear. Evan screamed, clawing at the console, desperate to shut it down. His fingers found the main power switch, and he yanked it with all his strength. The room went silent. The monitors died. The air lightened, and the door clicked softly, as if it had never been locked. Evan sat there, trembling, waiting for his eyes to adjust to the dark. The station was quiet again, the hum gone, the figures vanished. He laughed, a shaky, desperate sound, and fumbled for his flashlight. Maybe it was a power surge, a hallucination from too much coffee and no sleep. But when he flicked on the flashlight, the beam caught something on the console. The coffee spill had dried, but it wasn't random anymore. It formed words, stark and deliberate. "We are still here." Evan didn't stay to investigate. He ran, leaving the station behind, the door swinging open into the night. The next morning, the morning crew found the station abandoned, the equipment fried, and the words still etched in dried coffee. The transmitter tower was silent, its beacon dark. Evan was never seen again. But sometimes, late at night, truckers passing Crestwood pick up a faint signal on their radios, a hum, a whisper, and a voice that says, "Listen." And if they do, they hear Evan's voice, screaming, begging, trapped in the static. Forever part of the signal that never stops broadcasting.